A new window on the world, assisted suicide and a mobster fundraiser. It all made news this week and decades past here on Rochester's first TV station. Here's News 8 Now's Dave McKinley with News 8 Then.
10 years ago this week, the news was all about advancing technology. A Henrietta firm began offering simulated golf. There was a countrywide competition to crown a national Nintendo champ. And for the still large number of us without PCs, the web on wheels rolled in on a tractor trailer. And then came the biggest news of all.
Hey, you come inside. Check out Windows 95.
And boy, did they ever when it was launched a decade ago. Of course, advancing technology has its downside. Daniel Dernbach of Livingston County would have the dubious distinction of being the first person in the state to go to prison for downloading kiddie porn after his arrest this week in 1995. 20 years ago this week.
We have arrested this afternoon and charged with murder in the second degree Dr. John Cry.
Before anyone heard the name Jack Kevorkian, Fairport Dr. John Cry made national news after being accused of assisting a friend who lay dying in a nursing home commit suicide. The 76-year-old Cry was never prosecuted, though, because he died himself a short time later. And the newest jewel in the crown of downtown, the Riverside Convention Center, opened for business for the first time this week in 1985. 30 years ago this week, and having been charged with the murder of fellow mobster Jimmy the Hammer Macero, one of Rochester's most colorful underworld figures, Sammy Gingello sought to hire F. Lee Bailey as his lawyer, but he couldn't afford it, so they had a fundraiser, with all the suspected members of La Cosa Nostra turning out, including Richard Marino, Tom Murata, Red Rosati. The media came, and so did the cops, keeping a not-so-secretive watch on things from an unmarked car and this not-so-clandestine fake telephone truck. The giveaway was the tinted windows in the back, which weren't all that common this week in 1975. 40 years ago this week, Governor Nelson Rockefeller made his first visit here with his new wife, Happy, in tow. House Minority Leader Gerald Ford was also in town that day, and while here, the two met and clashed over President Johnson's Vietnam policy. Rockefeller praised it, but Ford said the escalating war was underfunded. Despite their differences, when Ford became president less than a decade later, though, he named Rocky VP, proving perhaps that the adage, politics makes for strange bedfellows, is as old as the days of News 8 Then.